Today we are going to do a Ariel character performer parks inspired makeup look. Hopefully it's helpful, and thanks for watching. So first we are going to start with a primer. This wasn't something that we were supplied with, but it just helps to keep your makeup in place all day, especially because you're doing this for hours. So just kind of like having something to keep it in place if you're like getting sweaty or just it's a long day. I feel like it helps. And now here is where I think a lot of people kind of like disagree on foundation. I use a ton, and that's for a few different reasons. I feel like as a cartoon character, you have like a very flat face. Like you don't have a lot of like contour or different shades. So that's kind of what made me want to just have like one shade. For the most part, I did do like some contouring here and there, but like just very flat. Like Ariel doesn't have freckles. I have freckles naturally. I have very fair skin. So using a foundation just kind of like helps create that very like flat matte finish, which is what I personally really liked. I felt like that's what worked best for me. And I like the full coverage, so not something super sheer. You'll see, I really like loaded on. Okay, we have our foundation done. Another thing about foundation, specifically like for the parks, or if you're doing work with a princess company or something where you're gonna have your picture taken a lot, I really liked the matte products because when you take pictures, you don't want like a shine or like a flash kind of like creating shine on your face. So that's why I would usually go with those matte products. Next, we are going to put on some gold shadow. It kind of depends on the day for me, but a lot of people will apply their eyes before their foundation because you will get some fallout sometimes. That doesn't really bother me. For me, I like to see like my foundation on my face first. It just gives me like a better visual for the rest of my makeup. So that's why I do it first. And then if I get fallout, I just kind of like go back in with foundation or whatever else and do touch-ups, but that's like a preference thing. So next we're gonna go into like the outer edge slash crease with this like pretty like peachy salmon color. Something I was always kind of like self-conscious of was like having hooded eyes, because I was like, oh, you won't be able to see the makeup as well as someone who doesn't have hooded eyes. Honestly, I don't think anyone noticed much or cared. So if that's something you are worried about, don't worry about it. Now we're going to do top liner. I don't love wearing eyeliner on the bottom. I just do like the outer edge and stop before I get to the middle, because I want my eyes to look like wide and open. And I feel like when I wear liner, more than like past the middle of my eye, it makes them look smaller. Something that's like important to note with character makeup is you're not doing like everyday going to the grocery store makeup. Like you kind of want it to be a little bit heavier and caked on, because when you take photos, when you have a wig and a costume on, it's going to fit with that. Like it's gonna look a little bit much with just like regular hair and normal clothes, but when you have all those things on, it really does like kind of pull it all together. We were told, I keep saying we, I don't even know if it was everyone, I'm sure everyone had kind of like a different experience, but I was told not to use fake eyelashes, which definitely surprised me, because whenever I did princess parties, we always used fake lashes. And I just feel like they make your eyes like really like pop. They make them seem like wider. They look really good in pictures. So these are the Ariel Naturals. And like I did want them to look natural, so I didn't go with anything like too over the top. So I will apply my glue, and they have like tinted glue, like black glue. I just like the clear. That way if it kind of like smudges or doesn't go on evenly, it's not a big deal. And remember to make sure like the smallest part is in the inside corner of your eye, and then it kind of like flares out as your eye goes out, if that makes sense. So I put the glue on, wave it around for a little bit, make sure it's like tacky and not like too wet, because then it's gonna be slipping all over the place. And when you're first learning how to put on lashes, it's enough of a pain as is. And now I'm gonna attempt to do this with the camera and the mirror 1,500 feet away from me. When I do lashes, I find it a lot easier to use tweezers, because you can kind of like adjust and get in there in those little spaces without like your fingers getting in the way. And again, I prefer to put them in not too close to the inside of my eyes, because then they kind of like bulk up. And again, it makes my eyes look a little bit smaller. So I like to start them maybe like that far in, like where the whites of my eyes start, and then bring them out. You can also trim the edges. I just kind of like curve them up, which I think helps hide that little like wing. Now I always apply mascara after my lashes, because I feel like it helps blend them with my natural lashes. And making sure you bring it down like close to your waterline, I think it's called. Is it called a waterline on the top? I don't know. Bringing it close down there kind of creates that contrast between like the makeup and your eye. So I try to do that. And I don't know if you can tell on camera. I think you can. The mascara versus no mascara on the eyelashes, like it really helps to have that extra like layer of makeup, I guess. And then I do a little on the outer corners where that eyeliner was, just because I feel like it helps kind of blend it. So now you can kind of see how with the eyeliner kind of like below your waterline, and the shadow with the lashes and mascara kind of like help the eyes pop. Now our makeup has had a little time to set, and I would sometimes just go in with some concealer in certain areas, like kind of the T-zone, and try to highlight the areas that I wanted to like pop. That just helps kind of like brighten up the under eyes, which is especially important these days with a 3-month-old baby. But at the time, I also liked doing it just to, in pictures especially, like brighten up the face. Use a kind of like a white right under the brows, again, to make them, just highlight them and make them stand out a little more. Now, blush. And advice I was given when doing princess parties from my really awesome boss was, whenever you think you have enough blush, add more, which is crazy because like normally you don't want to be like blush blind. But like I said earlier, with all the things on, like the costume, the hair, everything, it's very easy to look like washed out if you don't kind of like kick it on. Bronzer can be tricky because you don't want to go too dark. Especially it could be tricky with Ariel because you're in a bathing suit. So if your makeup on your face doesn't match like your neck and the rest of your body, it could be kind of obvious. So you really want to make sure you're not going like too dark, too heavy, and then not blending enough, because then it won't look as natural. And that's kind of funny to say about a animated cartoon character, but yeah, it smells really good. Maybelline City Bronzer. It's only coconuts. I just realized I forgot that there's a brown shade that we add to like the outer corners and blend. You don't want to like cover the coral. So if you feel like that's happening, you can go back in and add more. And I would also use the brown to kind of like set my under eye shadow sometimes. That way it's not kind of like spotting or flaking or like streaking down your face. Now we will do the brows. So the way I like to do this is fill in my actual brows. And if you're someone with uneven eyebrows like myself, don't worry, because that's what coloring on your eyebrows is for. That's why they make these fun tools for us. And then once the brows are filled in, we go in with a thinner brush. This is the thinnest one I have on me right now, so we're gonna make it work and add this deep red. And it's gonna look insane right now unless you have deeper red hair, but it'll all come together once you got the wig on. And I would say don't go too dark like right away, because you can always add more. We were given lip liner and lipstick and lip gloss. I have lip products that I'm like obsessed with that I prefer to use, but I'm gonna try to use some like similar things. So lip liner, I love the NYX lip lingerie. It's more matte. I just think it like goes on so well. It stays on really well. And like the colors are just like, they go so nicely with like a lot of different characters. Now I let it dry a little bit, and this seems kind of dark. It could be fine on its own, but I always liked to do like a little highlight. So I put it right in the center. And then just kind of dab it out. Now we also used lip gloss, which I don't know. I don't love the feeling of lip gloss on my lips. It's very similar to this Lip Love by Lucky Chick. And we were told to just put it on the bottom. If you put it on the top and then you smile, sometimes you can get it on your teeth. So usually just on the bottom. All right, so here is where we are right now. Don't love the lighting today, but that's okay. And I'm going to put on a wig. I tried to wear a top that was like similar to Ariel's dress color in the park, just to kind of like give the feel as much as possible without having the actual costume. So I gotta stop playing with my $20 Amazon wig, because it's not gonna be a park style wig no matter what I do with it. So this is the finished look. hope it was helpful. I don't think I forgot anything, but yeah, it was fun to kind of like go back to putting this on. I haven't put makeup on in a while, having a little baby, but yeah. So I hope this was helpful. I love doing character makeup. When I owned my character company, I did like a booklet that went through like all the different characters' makeup and like what products to use and how to apply it and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing more characters, just let me know. I'm so excited for Halloween coming up. I have like 1,070 ideas, and every year I'm like, I'm gonna do all the days of Halloween, 31, 30, I don't know. And I want to do like a look for each of those days. So I have like all these ideas. I just kind of need like the time, but that's okay. We're going to do our best. So let me know what you're interested in seeing, and I will do my best to prioritize that.